video is shot and photographed on a lens that I made by myself here in my office. Let me show you how it works. Just arrived at one of my favorite places, the Nahwitti River Trail here on North Vancouver Island, and so let's go take this homemade lens for a little spin around the block and see what we can do. So the one funny thing you need to get used to when you're shooting on a homemade lens like this is that you have no autofocus. So I keep on putting the shutter halfway down to focus, but there is no focus. It's at a locked focus, locked aperture. I think it's like f11. So you just kind of point the camera at something and you shoot. You don't have to worry about anything. So that's kind of fun. The Nahwitti River Trail is just like a short little walk that takes you to the Nahwitti River, but also to Nahwitti Lake. It's a very super simple, nice hike, but it takes you through some cool old growth. There's some old trees here that have fallen, but you can just see how massive they are and big. If you just look over here, you can see this tree has fallen down because of the wind, but we're gonna go walk over to one of my favorite trees. It's just a massive tree. So on this homemade lens, because it is just a piece of plastic, it shoots on film on the disposable camera. So on your digital camera, there's certain things you have to do to make it work properly. So because we're shooting on an f11 35mm plastic lens, it is super dark. My ISO on this video right now is at 6400 to just make it usable, but that's one of the things you have to do when you're using a cheap lens like this that you just made from home. All right, here's one of my favorite trees right up here. Just gonna give you a little scale so you can see how big this tree actually is. I gotta put this camera down somewhere here. We had a big windstorm just a little while ago and lots of downed trees here. Look at that mushroom mayhem. It's all just fungus growing under this tree that's all worked its way through its life cycle. It's the first snowfall of the season as well, which is part of the reason I wanted to go out today, because there is nothing more beautiful than lush green forest capped and topped with a little bit of white snow. Gotta love it. Remember that big Douglas fir I was showing you? So let's just quickly count the rings on this tree. Still pretty big. So we're like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we're at 10 with 2 finger lengths right there, and they get tighter as they go. So let's just imagine here, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. This is like a 60 to 100-year-old tree. So we've been walking at a casual pace. It's probably been 10, 15 minutes to get to here. We're just coming around the corner to where the lake is. Well, hi there. Just coming out of my little bear den. All right, we're here. We made it to the lake. As you can see, it is snowing. It's wonderful. Everything's turning nice and white, which is always great on that first snowfall of the year. But this is the lake. This is Nahwitti Lake, so this is where you come out at the end of the trail. It's about a 10-15 minute, I wouldn't call it a hike, it's a walk out to the lake. You get to see all the old growth and all the trees and the moss and the lichen and the mushrooms and all that stuff that's growing in the forest. It's beautiful and wonderful. It's a half hour from Port Hardy. It's if you're going out to San Joe or out to the west coast, I would recommend stopping here on your way because it's worth the stop. So there you go. Happiest tree you'll ever see. Good for you, tree. Good for you. All right, we are back at the truck, just looking at the old Apple Watch. It is exactly 2 kilometers from the parking lot to Nahwitti Lake. 17 to 20 minutes, depending on how fast you're walking. If you got kids, it'll slow you down just a little bit. But there's so many cool things to see, so plan on like an hour and a half here, and it's a great walk. And let's see how this footage on this handmade disposable camera lens worked out. Maybe this is garbage and none of this worked and this was all for nothing, but we gave it a shot, we tried something new, and that's what's most important. So thank you so much for coming along with me, and remember to
subscribe, and I'm gonna make some more videos. And if you don't subscribe, I'm gonna kill you. So I didn't mean to say I'm gonna kill you. I just meant I'm not gonna make any more videos.